here to Amherst County High School as we get ready for this upcoming 2024 football season. I'm Eric Powers, the voice of the Lancers, along with Coach Chris Moore as we get ready here on the Lancers Coaches Show to get all set for GW Danville this Friday night, 7 o'clock at JT Christopher Stadium. We're going to spend a few minutes with Coach, with some players, with just getting you all ready for this upcoming football season and kind of look back over the preseason as well and the off season as well. And Coach, great to be with you.
Yeah, it's good to be here
tonight. And as we get ready for this upcoming season, Coach, let's start by looking back a little bit. You had off season, you had time to work with the kids some more. You had a full year to work with the kids this year. How was that, first of all, and being able to get more in tune with the kids and what your program is all about?
Yeah, I felt like the guys did a great job throughout the offseason. We got stronger, which was critical. Last year, I felt like we were the weakest football team I've seen here at Amherst in a long time, just in the weight room wise. And the kids have bought into a good culture in the weight room. And we've added a few more. I think we raised our basement as much as we raised our ceiling. So a lot of those guys that were in the 500-600 pound club, they're in the 700-800 pound clubs now. Between the bench, squat, clean, and the weight room. So that was a really beneficial time. It was also good throughout the offseason to we had like O-line university back in the winter. And so all of our O-linemen last year that played early as sophomores that didn't play any winter or spring sports, they were able to go through that and go a little bit more in depth with technique and just little things we were able to do in the weight room with them. And so I think that's going to pay dividends for us going into this season. So the weight room stuff I think was huge for us. As well as another year in the system. So I think it was a little bit of a shock to them last year, just with the offense that we brought and the differences that we do. And so another year in the system has allowed them to be a lot more comfortable with their verbiage, the terminology, and just knowing what to do and making those, I think, those conclusions drawn from one to the other a little bit faster. So I'm excited for them coming into this season.
More camp activity, both team and individuals for a lot of your players. That was kind of a plus too.
Yeah, it was. We went to Shepherd University as a team camp, which I thought that was excellent. I mean, we got to stay in the college dorms, we got to eat college food, and we got to practice and do some things. We got to go against C.D. Hilton, which is a 6A school out of Northern Virginia, while we were there and work against each other. And I thought that was a great team bonding experience for our guys because we were together all day and night. We got to play the pool, in the dorms at night and things like that. So I thought that was really good for us coming into this season. I thought we hit training camp with a little bit better, I thought, like a step up, if you will, than typical.
All right, training camp gets underway. You've got 2 scrimmages mixed in there in the mix. Mm-hmm. Woodbridge was the first one. More of an opportunity just to see kind of where it was 2 weeks into training camp. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I thought our first scrimmage, we kind of do the 10s and 10s and kind of run plays against each other. And I thought that was good. It kind of, gives us a good opponent. Woodbridge is a solid school out of Northern Virginia, 6A school. So getting a 6A school down here to Amherst to get good work in. They were big up front. And honestly, they remind me of a lot of our opponent this Friday, GW Danville, where they're big up front. They got an athletic quarterback. They got big receivers. Athletic kids, and so I thought that was a great scrimmage for us that really tunes us up for what's coming up Friday.
All right, talk a little bit about Powhatan then. Usually, typically a very, very good football program in the Richmond area.
Yeah, and Powhatan has been a great program. I think a playoff team probably the last 4 years I know, if not longer. And they had Penn State commit, a tight end, receiver. They had an underclassman, a junior receiver that was a good player too. I think he has a Penn State offer potentially. But it was probably one of the better passing teams that we will see this year. And I thought, again, it gives a different element to our preseason, and we get to work our pass defense. We even got to work some prevent defense against them that last 2 minutes of the second quarter. And so I thought that was really good for us. Great quarterback, he could sling it around a lot. So I really appreciate them coming over for us and getting us some good work in last week. So, we delayed that second scrimmage a little bit longer than we typically do because we had this week 1 bye, which thankfully this is the last year of that.
Yeah.
But we delayed it because we both had that week 1 bye. And so it was a long camp, than typical. You normally kind of, have those 2 scrimmages early and then you're playing, obviously last Friday. So, but it was good work, and I really appreciate those teams. Great coaches, great kids. Our kids handled themselves well. I thought their kids handled themselves well. It was just a really good 2 scrimmages, I think, for us.
All right, a little bit of a comparison here. Training camp to training camp, from year 1 to year 2. Where would you say is the biggest difference for you personally between that first year and this second year?
I would say, that's a great question. I think I didn't know necessarily what the kids could do last training camp. I have a little bit better, and we all do, I have a little bit better idea of what they are capable of. And so putting those kids into positions where they're capable of doing the job that is best for our football team, I think is a huge benefit to us coming into camp too. So we're able to do we have a young man coming up later in the show, Devontae Wade. I'm able to use him a little bit better because I have a better understanding of his skill set and what he's capable of doing. So, you'll see him all over the place, where last year I kind of had him as a receiver. I thought he might be a traditional slot. Well, he's too much for just that position alone. I got to move him around and get the ball in his hands more often. So I have a lot better understanding. So does Coach Jennings on the defensive side of the ball. I think we have a better understanding of what our young men can do, what they're capable of, and putting them in better positions.
All right, there's your Cooper Steel recap. We will have an opportunity to go through the opponent this week, GW Danville, just a little bit later on. So stick around for that here on the Lancers Coaches Show. Eric Powers back here with you on the Lancers Coaches Show as we get you all set for this upcoming 2024 Lancers football season. And to my left right now, Devontae Wade. Good to see you, brother.
Yes, sir.
You doing all right?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Doing just fine. Thank you very much. We were talking a little bit earlier with Coach Moore about diversity as far as your position is concerned. And I don't want to pin you down. I know you like to hit people because I've seen you hit people. I especially remember a couple of really, really good hits in a couple of playoff games a couple of years ago. But in particular, I am always taken, and I think my partner on the radio broadcast, Terry Forbes, is too, is your tenacity on plays, offensively and defensively. So we'll throw a position out at you. How about that? And you describe kind of your approach to that position. And Coach mentioned slot earlier last season, a lot of that for you, but also quarterback, a lot of that for you because of the injuries to Trace. Let's talk a little bit about slot first. What's your take on playing in that position?
I like slot because it's a variety of things that we can do out of it. Like, we can throw out of that, we can run jet sweeps out of it, we could block out of it even if we have to. It's fun playing the slot, knowing that you can catch and get the ball running in space. So it's more so knowing that getting the defense, you can get the defense to key in on your slot and have your X receiver wide open. It's a great feeling.
All right. This year, describe more of what it's like for you coming into camp this year as opposed to last year. You got a little bit better idea of what this offense is going to do. How is it from your perspective?
Last year, I feel like we were excited, but we weren't dialed into what we were doing. Like this year, we're more together, more safe than we were last year. Seniors really didn't want it last year, I'd say, but the guys this year really wanted it. They showed it.
When you look at your teammates and the folks around you, how confident are you in how they're going to support what you're doing and you supporting what they're doing?
I think we're going to have a special group. I think there's a special group right here, like Coach Moore says. We trust in each other a lot. We have film nights, everything like that, so I got a lot of trust in each other. I think we got a lot of trust in each other. I know we do.
Having that time together in the off-season always important, I think, because you're not only building bonds on the football field, you're building those bonds off the football field. Yeah.
Right. More family.
Yeah, I like that idea. Family is always important no matter where you're, no matter what situation you find yourself in. Let's talk a little bit about what you're expecting from this club as you move forward into the season.
That never give up, more so. Keep fighting to the end.
And that's something that we talked a lot about on the air last year, was this was a team that never, no matter what the situation was you found yourself in, good or bad,
Right.
never seemed to kind of throw that out the door and just say, we're not doing this anymore. No, and that's something that I'm excited to watch with you guys. All right, another position that excites you.
Playing the quarterback does excite me. just know having the command, the control over the offense, seeing everything in front of you, just how everything happens, is just the excitement of it. Playing running back, it's fun. Being able to hit the hole, jump cut outside or something, or just the pleasure of stiff arming somebody coming through, lowering your shoulder. The first initial contact, it's a great feeling.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but on offense, playing multiple positions kind of heightens the senses, if you will, too, for that matter.
Yeah. I said you gotta learn more. Like, you gotta know more when you're playing multiple positions. More so because if this guy's messing up, you gotta be able to help him correct himself too, while playing your own position. So playing those other positions helps me help them. So it's a good feeling.
All right, let's talk about it from the defensive standpoint. I know, and a lot of people know, that have watched you over your career here at Amherst, you like to hit people.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty simple. You like to get out there and you like to make the play. Tell me about the defense this year that you're seeing from your perspective, and also just from your perspective for that matter.
Well, we do have a lot of guys that like to fly around and hit, so we got to be more cautious of not hitting each other this year. But other than that, I like it. I feel like we're a swarm-ready team. We're gonna be ready to hit. We just gotta stay true to ourselves. That's the key thing. Play together, play as one.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck.
Oh, yes, sir.
I think it's going to be fun to watch you guys on Friday nights, and
What's that?
very much looking forward to it. Devontae, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it as always. We'll be
Yes,
back
sir.
with more of the Lancers Coaches Show in just a moment. Stay tuned. Eric Powers back with you here on the Lancers Coaches Show, our first of the season. Looking forward to many, many more as we make our way through. And joining me up here, along with Coach Moore, is Coach Dustin Hogan. And Coach, I know you, of course.
Yes, sir.
From the baseball field. We get to talk, we get to say hello, we get to shake each other's hand and all that good stuff. But now it's football time.
Yes, sir.
First year doing that, though, right?
Yeah, first year doing football. Grateful to Coach Moore for the opportunity. Transition's been great. Everybody's accepted me, helped me out tremendously. I'm learning a lot as I go. Always asking Coach Moore questions. I got a great staff on the JV side. I got Coach Byers, Coach Richardson, Coach Tinsley, Coach Pavard. Everybody's helping me out, so the transition's been great.
Having that opportunity, both in baseball and football, to work with the younger kids that are making their way up through that system, you're the first one they get to learn that system from. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when Coach Moore approached me about it, I basically told him the same thing I told Coach Apperson, the head varsity baseball coaches. It's my job to prepare the kids to be ready to play for him. Of course, JV level, you definitely want to win. You go out there to win football games, win baseball games. But ultimately, my job is to prepare the kids to be ready to play for Coach Moore. So it's a tough sport. Injuries happen. If he has to call up one of my guys, I want him to be ready to go, understand the concepts that he's putting in, and not have to be behind everybody else. So if they get their number called on the varsity level, they're ready to go.
All right, so talk a little bit about this JV club. How are they looking in practice, and are they going to be ready for that first game?
Yeah, I think we're going to be ready. Like I said, the coaching staff I have is great. Everybody's preparing their side of the ball. Coach Byers with the offense, Coach Tinsley on the offense, Coach Rich on the defense, special teams. I think we're going to be ready. We didn't have the opportunity to scrimmage, but that's okay. A lot of my guys got to dress with varsity, see how things go on a game day. So I feel like that's going to help us out come Thursday night at 6 o'clock when we take the field against GW Danville.
All right, best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
I think
it.
it'll go great.
I hope
Personally.
so. Hope so.
All right. Let's go ahead and turn our attention in the Mark Tomlin preview,
Yeah, there you
if
go.
you will, brought to you by Mark Tomlin Realtor. And we're going to take a look at the games this week against the GW Danville Eagles. We've already told you a little bit about the GW and Lancers JV game, which will be here at Amherst County High School, 6 o'clock at Lancers Stadium. But then the varsity's got to make a trip.
We do.
The 2-hour trip, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I know.
2-hour trip, yeah. That trip to Mecklenburg, it's a little brutal, but I'll just warn you ahead of time. Talk a little bit about the GW Eagles, Coach. As usual, they're going to have a lot of speed. They're going to have a lot of size, a lot of combinations up there. How do you counter that?
Well, I think, we obviously exchanged the 2 scrimmage films, and having a week 1 bye is a blessing too, because you get to go and see and watch GW play. And I saw a lot of good things out of GW. Obviously, they turned it around. We got lucky. We beat them last year. They had 4 interceptions, and we really got lucky to win that football game. They turned their season around with 6-4, made the playoffs, and so I think they picked up right where they left off. I felt like even against Dinwiddie, they competed hard. I thought they forced turnovers. They picked off Harry Dalton, Dinwiddie's great player, quarterback. They forced a couple of fumbles. They were playing. And Dinwiddie had an opportunity to kind of run away from them, and GW kind of came back and put their foot on the gas pedal, if you will. And so I think it's going to be a great matchup. And how do we counter? They're a huge size up front. They got a great quarterback. He's, I think, a 3-year starter at quarterback. He was hard for us to tackle last year. And so how do we counter that? I think as best we can. I think we got to mix in a little bit of tempo on offense just to get those big boys moving a little bit. So you'll see that mixed in. Luckily, this don't come out till Thursday or so I don't know if they'll watch it. But I think we got to do that, and then we got to apply pressure, mix up some looks, and really follow, I think, our keys on defense. And so they do a lot of GT counter, which is guard, tackle, pull. They'll give you some false reads, a lot of screen passes to those fast receivers. And so we've got to do a good job of recognizing those things, I think following our keys, and just playing good, sound defense. I was really proud of the defense, the way they played the first 2 scrimmages. I felt like I was giving Coach Jennings some love, but I felt like the guys are understanding things better. I think they're executing things better. And obviously being bigger and stronger, I think has helped us in the trenches, if you will, going from last year's defense into this year.
All right, Coach, going into this season, second season, more chances to work with these kids, getting them ready. Overall, heading into this season, and even looking ahead to the Seminole District, which we always know is going to be tough, how are you feeling about where your club is right now?
Yeah, I would say I feel good, or I feel better. I feel like coming into last season, I really didn't know what to expect on a lot of fronts. It was, kind of what our kids can handle, what they're, it's been a long time since I was in the Seminole, and I know the Seminole is a great football district, but I think I have a better understanding, I think, of what they'll see, come on Friday nights. We're better able to process that through our offensive, defensive systems, if that makes sense. But I feel better, and the biggest thing, I think, in any season, for it to be truly special, you have to stay healthy. And last year, we kind of got decimated by injuries. I think if you looked at our roster, in game 2 or 3, and looking at game 6 is completely different, starting lineups, everything. And so keeping everybody healthy, that's a challenge in and of itself, and some of it's luck overall, but we got to stay healthy, and I think we can have a very, very good season.
All right. Best of luck to you, GW. Best of luck to you as well.
Thank you, sir.
Thursday night, and looking forward to this season, Coach.
Yep.
Really am.
Yep.
It should be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching the Lancers Coaches Show. We appreciate it as always, and we look forward to talking to you again soon. Take care.